Excellencies, Kenya has engaged in election culture, and since independence, Kenya has held regular and periodic elections, initially under a single party and eventually transitioned to the current multi-party system. Towards this end, my administration is on course to hold the third general election under the 2010 Constitution. Regionally, Kenya plays a critical role as a guarantor of regional peace and security in the Horn of Africa and the Great Lakes region. We are, however, concerned by the rising incidences of coups and unconstitutional changes of government, which are contrary to democratic values and are a threat to peace and stability. I commend the support that the international community has continued to extend to Kenya through various mechanisms, particularly the collaboration in countering terrorism and radicalization. Kenya remains committed to all efforts to restore entrenched democracy in our region through supporting reconciliation between the parties in conflict in Ethiopia, peace and stability in Sudan and South Sudan, as well as the stabilization of Somalia. Kenya has been at the forefront in the participation in peacekeeping operations within the African continent and beyond. Our active participation in peacekeeping is testimony to our confidence in a crucial role it plays in the restoration of democratic institutions and leadership. Kenya has taken significant measures to strengthen its fight against corruption. The posture, the will, and actions taken by government speak to this acclaim. Evidenced at the onset by the open governance space that allows for unrestrained whistleblowing and reporting. We have, on a more practical level, adopted innovative prevention, investigation, and asset recovery strategies that have begun to bear fruit. Through the adoption of a multi-agency approach bringing together intelligence, investigation, prosecution, and restitution agencies, Kenya has achieved its highest level of success in investigating and prosecuting corruption-related cases, as well as recovering assets from corruption, both in-country and from across the globe. We have anchored preventative pillar as a key to our anti-corruption agenda. In this regard, Kenyan children are now learning honesty, integrity, diligence, and hard work through a revised competency-based curriculum. The mark of our success in the war against corruption is to continue developing accountable institutions and to grow local organic solutions demanding exercise of integrity by the current and also future generations. Let me take this opportunity to commend you, President Biden, for convening this summit aimed at strengthening democracy, promoting respect for human rights, and fighting corruption. Kenya has since independence worked hard to deepen its democratic credentials and to entrench the rule of law. I wish to confirm that we have achieved significant democratic milestones, which include, amongst other things, the adoption of an inclusive and progressive Constitution of Kenya 2010 that incorporates an expansive Bill of Rights and more decentralized governance structures of 47 county governments with increased county capacity in localized planning, public expenditure management, and so on. An equally important achievement is recognition and promotion of diversity, especially for previously marginalized groups such as women, youth, and persons with disabilities, a strengthened and independent judiciary, a robust and engaged bicameral parliament, and an enhanced framework for public participation in decision-making processes. In this regard, Kenya commits to strengthen democracy, defend against authoritarianism, combat corruption, and respect for human rights within the country, the East African community, the African region, and the world at large. We are confident in the resilience of our democracy, which arises from a deep foundation of values we hold in common with other democracies around the world. Kenya, being a member of the United Nations Security Council, continues to urge countries to also embrace diversity, respect, and appreciate people of all backgrounds, regardless of their race and identity. Many differences in the world today emanate from gaps in models used to manage grievances. Kenya, through her experience in building peace in the region, has ideas, experiences, and perspectives that have not only been useful in building bridges of divide amongst political adversaries locally, but which also could be useful in carrying out the Security Council's mandate. We seek to deliver our contribution in the context of 4 broad policy pillars: regional peace and security, counterterrorism and violent extremism, peace support operations, as well as climate-related security. As the United States hosts a conference of democracies, Kenya appreciates that the core message that needs to emerge from it is that this form of government can deliver solutions to major challenges. We want to welcome you to a more ambitious partnership that entrenches this success in growing our economies, minimizing the challenge of terrorism in this region, and strengthening regional peacekeeping stabilization. Further, a system that promotes human rights and combating corruption and working together to respond to humanitarian, health, climate change, and man-made emergencies, utilizing Kenyan expertise, our location, and the presence of the United Nations. As I conclude, I wish to once again confirm my administration's commitment to working with other nations in strengthening democracy, promoting respect for human rights around the world, and fighting corruption. I thank you all for your attention.